Hello and welcome back to Turkish Spotlight Secrets. Today's episode is all about a series of chance encounters, pointed questions, and quietly dramatic answers that have kept entertainment reporters on their toes and set social media ablaze. At the center of it all is Akınözü, the breakout star of Hypothetical, whose recent remarks have collided with wedding buzz surrounding his former co-star Ebru Şahin and her fiancé, Turkish Macedonian basketball standout Sadie Osman. The result? A swirl of speculation that has only grown louder since Akın's impromptu stop in Idol 2 evenings ago. What follows is a full rundown of the timeline, the context, and the unanswered questions that still have fans refreshing their news feeds. I'll take you through the decisive moments, the body language cues reporters noticed, the online reaction, and the hidden layer to Akın's public persona, an extreme weight loss journey that taught him what genuine transformation requires. And why that experience shapes the way he now answers personal questions. By the end, you'll see why a single comment like "I wish her happiness" can ignite 1,000 headlines, and how a man once defined by a 3-year screen partnership is trying to write a more autonomous chapter of his own story. 1. The Idol flash interview. Late on a quiet weeknight, Akınözü stepped out of a private dinner on Nispatay Avenue. A few camera crews had gathered after an anonymous tip hinted he might appear. True to form, Akin greeted them politely, offering a brief evening check-in before heading for his car. The small talk was routine, upcoming projects, off-season fitness, until someone asked the inevitable. "Will you be attending Ebru Şahin's wedding?" A fractional pause, barely noticeable, followed. Then came his measured reply. "I wish her happiness. What can I say beyond that?" He did not elaborate. He did not smile or frown. He simply nodded and moved on. It was a textbook neutral answer, respectful but not effusive, and yet in the hypercharged world of celebrity coverage, neutrality can sound louder than any fireworks display. Moments later, another reporter tried to press the point. If an invitation arrived, would he go? Akin's brow flicked upward, signaling a flicker of disbelief. He answered with a rhetorical question, "Would you?" Before adding that he had not received such an invitation and was therefore under no obligation to conjure a hypothetical response. On paper, it read as slightly impatient. In person, witnesses say his tone remained calm, if a bit weary. Within minutes, cell phone clips of the exchange landed on microblogging sites. Hashtags began trending, #Akin reaction, #Ebru wedding, #Hypothetical reunion. Screenshots circulated in which commenters debated whether his restraint masked lingering tension from the final months on the Hypothetical set, a period many insiders recall as emotionally taxing for both lead actors. 2 parallel sightings, colliding narratives. Earlier that same day, a fashion reporter in Unanswered spotted Ebru Şahin leaving a bridal atelier. She wore a casual linen jumpsuit, nothing bridal, yet carried a garment bag rumored to contain a second-round fitting for her evening reception dress. When asked if ex-co-stars would be present on the big day, Ebru demurred. "We haven't finalized the guest list. Close friends will know in time." That phrase "close friends" became viral catnip. Was Akin in or out? Fans dissected old interviews, hunting for clues. Some swore the two actors parted amicably, citing farewell posts that spoke of gratitude and shared memories. Others insisted the relationship cooled after on-set creative disagreements about late script changes and promotional commitments. Without new quotes from either side, the vacuum filled itself with competing storylines. 3. Akin's personal reinvention and why it matters. Long before wedding questions, Akınözü surprised observers with something far more radical than a TV cliffhanger. He shed 50 kilograms over an 18-month period, dropping from 120 kilograms to roughly 70 kilograms. In a rare long-form interview, he once described the experience as his first proof that change is possible if you are willing to be uncomfortable longer than most people expect. "It began," he said, "with a single promise: no shortcuts, no secret clinics, just incremental discipline." It required relinquishing the identity that had quietly sheltered him through adolescence, the big, funny friend. It forced him to evaluate every external opinion against an internal compass, because the world, he noted, never stops offering commentary once you place yourself on a public scale. That backstory colors every terse answer he now gives reporters. He learned early that transformation is fragile in its early stages and that noise can derail quiet progress. So when asked to project joy or nostalgia about a former co-star's wedding, he falls back on the principle that authenticity sometimes means saying less, not more. For the rumor of a late invitation. Roughly 24 hours after Akin's Idler clip went viral, an unverified claim surfaced. According to a family friend, Ebru's camp had extended an invitation in light of the media frenzy. Reputable outlets could confirm none of it. Still, podcasters speculated about seating charts, fan accounts produced Photoshop mock-ups of a reconciliatory selfie, entertainment panels debated whether an olive branch invite would be accepted or returned unopened. Why does this hypothetical carry so much weight? Because it would mark the first public appearance of the two leads side by side since Herkai wrapped filming. For thousands of viewers who invested emotional energy in the series, that reunion, however brief, would signal either closure or rebirth of a professional rapport many found compelling. 5. Industry dynamics, pragmatism versus sentiment. Casting directors still field daily messages urging them to recast the duo in a new project. But the industry calculus is tricky. Chemistry sells, no one disputes that, but it must outweigh any behind-the-scenes tension that could stall production schedules. Brand overlap, Akin is pivoting toward darker psychological roles, Ebru appears to favor historical epics shot partly abroad. Their paths may simply be diverging. Public fatigue, repairing them too soon may read as desperation rather than creative inspiration. Thus, even if personal fences were mended tomorrow, the professional stars may not align for several years, if at all. 6. The fan perspective, echo chambers and projection. Social media analysis reveals two dominant narratives. The dreamers believe the universe is conspiring to reunite Akin and Ebru, either on set or in friendship. They cite every neutral phrase as code for buried affection. The Guardians argue that both actors deserve space to evolve separately. They celebrate Akin's weight loss journey, Ebru's new career chapter, and Sadie Osman's support of her ambitions. Occasionally the two groups clash, and comment threads erupt into turf wars over whose interpretation best protects their chosen star. Amid this noise, Akin's silence and Ebru's diplomacy act as twin anchors, reminding fans that reality rarely fits the tidy arcs imagined in shipping hashtags. 7. What we still don't know. Was there an actual falling out on the Herkai set, or merely the fatigue that shadows any long shoot? Have their management teams spoken about the wedding behind closed doors? Will Akin break his silence again if reporters keep pressing, or has he said all he intends to say? Until hard evidence arrives, every confident answer is guesswork. But if history is a guide, both actors will remain cautious. They've seen how quickly nuance evaporates once a quote hits the trending list. 8. A closing reflection on boundaries. The real takeaway may be less about whether Akin attends a wedding and more about how we treat public figures who decline to narrate their every sentiment. In an era of livestream proposals and monetized confessions, choosing brevity can feel subversive. Yet brevity can also be an act of respect, to oneself, to former colleagues, and to new chapters not yet fully written. Thank you for spending time with me on this deep dive. If you value thoughtful context over runaway rumor, consider subscribing and sharing this breakdown with a friend who might still be scrolling through speculative threads. I'll be back soon with more stories that peel back the curtain without tearing it down. Until then, take care of yourselves, and remember, sometimes the quietest statements echo longest.